Hi class, here's your video feedback, and I'm really happy with the work that you've been producing. So I'm going to look at these as a first-time user to your site. That's usually the best way, as if I've never seen any of your work. So let's start with Sarah. Sarah, right away, the first thing I notice is how beautiful the shots are. That's, immediate. Then I think maybe it could be aligned, maybe better. I don't know. Maybe something goes here. I mean, these are really nice as stills, and these are active. Just so fascinating. But yeah, I mean, maybe we don't put these here and we align these, but I'm going to let you think about that. The color, everything is terrific. It is fine the way it is, but I'm curious if maybe you were to take this or this into a color generator and see what colors it gave you as a palette, if maybe a background color would work. I feel like these fonts need to be the same. Just stick with two. Maybe if that were all caps, but it looks like it goes together, so that's kind of an issue, but really great. Put Adobe in front of these, because if somebody's doing a search, that will come out. I feel like that actually, you have your navigation over here, and I like that you tell us exactly what you do. Maybe this needs to be closer, underneath, maybe a little space here, but right now I feel like I want to click on these, okay, instead of this. And that's a possibility too. If you have examples of this, that could be a page. If you have examples of this, of course, and then that. But that's the only confusion there. So if I go to videos, of course, we have this. And yeah, and it's hard to make this work out, but maybe this is all caps if you're going to use that as a header, with a little more space here. You do have Adobe here. Good job. And, it's all looking great. Eventually you'll probably have, okay, so you've got, maybe you want to put your asset guide to the right if we're going to have that space there, and if you're going to have one underneath it. Otherwise, I would say two up, or a little bigger. And yet it is on a phone, so, maybe you want to put something simple right here. But these two fonts aren't working ideally for you. Not ideally. Even this in all caps might work a little better. A lot of it has to do with the strokes are so thin, and when you get to the mobile, it's going to be even thinner. Okay, excellent photo. This page looks good. You probably can get that to align, but it's good. It's good. Yeah, this feel is great for your work. Yeah, and you can go to fontjoy.com and try combinations of fonts. You can also do a search, everyone, for font pairings and see what works well together, as standards. And don't be afraid to use those that are tried and true, for sure. Yeah, I think it's just fonts, because obviously the work is just beautiful, right? So let's maybe just work with that in the hierarchy a little bit, all right? Okay, very nice, very nice. Okay, Jonathan, good, we know exactly what you do, and your contact, and you're linked up. So, Gumby, let's make sure that you want people calling you if you're going to put your number there, because they will. Try not to have stock footage. I understand this one, and it's not so bad, it tells us what you do and it's in the contact, but here's the thing. And this, as a filmmaker, people want to see your work, okay, instead of stock. and everyone has seen this many times. Okay, nice. Probably needs a little more contrast there. It's a little bit of, and the font is too close to this font. You know, when we have font in, or text or lettering in a video or anything like that, or a poster, anything that goes over it, basically you're in this two-dimensional world, we're overlapping that. So watch for things like that for sure. It is legible, but it's too tight. I thought this was interesting. Do double check and look at the spelling. I think you mean comfortable. So double check. And we only need one set of social media, okay? You will need to put work with this. So your asset guide, this is going to go next to this, either right here, and you'll be consistent about that. I see you're in a slider, but you know, you'll have to put it here. Okay, that's where those will go, right with the work. And you won't have to use this term at all. Just give us this info with the work. Remember, when we talk about proximity in graphic design, you want it next to something. And I realize you may not have had that, but now you know. Okay. You want to make sure you carry your brand across. And this fits your site, so that's all good. Of course, you'll want a few more, and you might as well put a few more there. And these look great. This one's a little out of place, right? But these look really good together. And you probably have a few more. We might as well take a quick look. Let's see, even this one, even this, well, the background's not there. It's nice for you to have, you know, this works, that works, I think. Obviously that works. That one, even this, but even that. Okay, but the one that you have there currently isn't working with the group, right? But you've got plenty. All right. So that's the main stuff there. You might want to put an image here because, you know, you're a photographer, an image might be good. And you guys don't have to stick with white backgrounds. Okay. I would rather a solid most often than an image, but you know, and white can be great, but sometimes you can use, you know, a little bit of faint color, you know, even a gray. Okay. All right. Great job. All right. Okay. I like this. And I like how you are not overlapping, or, you know, it is over his eye, but not too bad. I think those are good thumbnails. They're interesting thumbnails. And you have your, make sure you have your role, what you did here. That's where your asset guide goes. And yeah, I prefer not seeing the Vimeo kind of thing. And you are hooked up. Okay. Let's make sure there are no placeholders whatsoever. Good. No placeholders. So probably just disable that one. You can keep this, but you need to add your story here. Take it left align it also. And, you know, be careful, make sure that you really want your name there. And okay, those are nice, but I don't know that they're yours. I'm getting worried now. Okay. Okay, so you want to put your name there. And just remove every template, everything that isn't necessary. And eliminate that, I believe. I'm just a little confused. I'm just a little confused about the site. Studios Beyond Your Imagination. This is IQ, but then we go into anxiety. So, yeah, just make sure that I know there is no placeholder images here, okay? Because I'm confused by that, and this needs to be updated, I think. All right. Okay, so delete anything, disable any page you're not using, all right? Okay. Tatiana, good, nice. Be careful. You know, make sure if you're a content creator that if you take photographs, that you include those in your work. Okay? Rather than, you know, templates and things. But okay. All right, cool. So if you want to make sure you add that. And as a content creator, you guys, a blog is perfect because as you like to create lots of content, that's the place to put it. Okay. Let's just have these once. And I do like that these fit your brand. There's some white space here. So we want to take care of that. And we've got a few different fonts going on. So choose two, one, and then a simple one for everything else. Okay. The home and the blog seem kind of similar in the about. In your case, you might want your blog here and your work over here because I'm confused between your work and your blog because it looks like you're a blogger, but here you have some work. Okay. This should be what goes here, right? And so I don't know why it's twice, but you'll work that out. All right. All right, good job. Next time, send me the get information or the get feedback link so that I can check the mobile, okay? Great. Love these shots, too. The colors are great. It's a great feel. Terrence, this is a good template, but do change the date. Put 2021, I guess, would be good. And I don't know if these are just taking a very long time to load, maybe. These are going to some sites, and okay. So yeah, you want to take out everything that isn't yours. Absolutely everything that isn't yours. And you don't really need a downloadable. Let's see. Yeah, disable that. It's not there. Eventually what you'll do is you'll have, you know, a list of selected clients, let's say. All right. So be careful about having phone numbers there. You know, you get a lot of spam potentially. But I think you know what you need to do. Okay. So you probably need some indication that there's a video there, you know, but I'll leave you to decide that. All right, good start. Let's look at your mobile. Okay, you're gonna want to do that. Okay, so you've got some work coming up. All right, but you've got a good template to work with. All right, so reproductions. I know exactly what you do when I look at this. Eventually, you're going to focus more on your work and less on, you know, this image. Probably want to bring all this up a little more. Let's left align this. And okay. There's a lot of scrolling to get to your about. So think about that. I might suggest a rectangle here and bringing this up so we don't scroll to this. There's not a lot of content on it. There's not too much on this page, but there's more scrolling per content than there probably has to be. All right. Round image again. Let's not have a placeholder. Move the contact over here because that would be the web standard. This looks good. You're going to have your asset inventory here, or your content written here about this, your context, what your role was, what you did, the name of it, those things is where that will go. Move that over. Okay, you've got the work. I think the about me and the contact is weaker by comparison to your work because there's a lot of white space. And, you know, cropping this isn't awesome. You at your workstation is okay, but I think, you know, we need to get into your selected work sooner because that's your strength. All right? All right. Okay. Change this color. And purple may or may not be ideal. Also, you're going to change this. It's easy to go in and just edit your mobile section in your mobile editor and try and get this to where it's, you know, and video. You can have a ampersand and video here, but instead of just having editor by itself. Things like that, all right? Okay, Stephen. Okay. Right now these are going to the Wix standard. Do we need a separate page for that? That is, do we need to have this in the middle of everything? Or can this, you have space for a drop down, and then you would not need this page at all. Plus, we're not able to get to, this could be reduced a little bit, it's a little fuzzy, but if you have these pages in a drop down, I usually don't love drop downs, but if you do that, then you're going to be able to have access to these pages. So here's a good thing for you guys to do with your social media in this situation. These are hard to display in an attractive way. I don't actually think most of them are laid out very attractively, that is on the platforms for our mobiles and stuff usually. But what you can do is you can take an iPhone mock-up or something like that and insert them that way. And you can have like 2 or 3 across, you can have 4 across, grid them up, but it will make a big difference in how that looks. You're going to like it. Okay, so think about that. And bring that about section up. I would bring this up too. Okay. A lot of headroom here. And could be sharper. Bring this up. Okay. All right, good start. This looks good here. You might have to edit this down a little bit on your mobile site. All right. But maybe instead of an image here, you have something else so that we don't confuse it with your About page. All right? Great job. Okay. Let's disable this. We don't want anything that is coming soon. These are a little hard to see, and I know it sounds like I'm just pointing out the changes that need to be made, but that's just for time. You guys are doing a great job, you know. This needs higher contrast because we can't read it. This may have been blown up a little large. I love how you tell us exactly what you do. Now we're into the template style and branding. We want to get yours, but usually a simple background is best. And what you want to do is take out the formatting here, and then that should disappear. Okay, and probably get rid of that. Disable it. All right, so you've got some time to spend on this. This weekend you were supposed to be working on your mobile. Let's disable this page. You were working on your mobile, so I want everyone to go through and spend some time. That's the thing. It's stressful if we don't allow time for it. These things just take time. They're not hard, but they take time. That's hard to see. Kind of cool, but hard to see. Okay. Let's put 2021 here. Good. Good. If this is going to be your logo, you know, one or the other, you could, if that's going to be your color, then use that color. If this is bold, do not bold it, but you might make it just a little bit bigger. And try not to have this on one line. Good photo. It's not quite centered, but it's good. Not a lot of scrolling. That's perfect. Your drop-down shadows don't cover up content. And something that I'm practicing a little more, and that is to have the logo not straight in the middle. It's okay here because everything is centered, but sometimes you can put it, you know, the lettering around it and have this in the middle. And sometimes that works well. That one's not matching this one, and they're not aligned. So alignment's really important. Okay. All right, so a slightly different aesthetic. This color versus that color. This is a very earthy, you know, older film style, and this blue is a little more modern. So think about that and think about capitalizing the E because it is here. It isn't here, but I think maybe both should be capitalized. All right. All right. Good start. And I look forward to seeing some of those details. Okay. It's a little busy. We need to simplify, make the spacing more similar. And I'm not sure we need this, at least not here. It's very tight. Maybe your name would go before it. Maybe it comes over here. I'm confused because for me, this looks like guitar frets, but I think it's supposed to be film. So maybe the dots come out. I'm not sure about these dots. Okay. And this we need to take care of. This, it looks like it's probably a good image. Probably don't need black outlining, probably just need, you know, a contrast there, or maybe a drop shadow would be fine without the outline, or the border can be smaller. These I'm not a fan of because, let's see, click on it. I can't see them. The spacing would need to be the same. I don't mind them being clickable. That would be good if I could see a demo reel of your Premiere Pro, but right now I can't. But just think about that, if that's how you want to do that. Contact will go over to the very end, but that's fine. Looks good. This looks good. Left align because there's a lot of it, and update this. Simplify this. I like that we know what you do, but simplify it. And I don't know if you need this here, if you've already got it here. Maybe you don't need this. Maybe you have 3 of these or 1, and this, you know, 1 of them is fine, and this goes above, you know, or this goes below it, or but it's a little crowded, and there's about 1 extra line than we need. Okay, this works. It is another menu, which can be frustrating, but, you know, because now I have to go back to see some of these things. Okay. I don't want to hit that and get off your site. Okay, so that's the thing with that. I would just have this go to a page. As much as I like the way this is, you know, maybe it's a bar across here that's black that has the white landscape, and then you have some, okay, either these images are really large because it's not loading for me, and then you have okay, you do have a number of things. You might have to move this all over and have a drop down. You know, as much as I like the way that was laid out, it's just too complicated going back and forth. Okay. All right. Be consistent with your fonts, the sizes. Okay. Try not to have one word on a line by itself, but, you know, you've got a lot of work, and that's the main thing. Okay, that's the hard part. So you're super close, super close. All right. Christopher, I know this is going a little long, you guys, but there are details. Watch how these things butt together. Sometimes it just doesn't work. Let's see. These are all very different. And so it's very important that for you, you may need multiple sites, because athlete and inventor, for example, are not really a tagline that would help somebody understand what it is you're trying to promote. This is to be a service. So content creator might be the best thing for you. Make these larger or not there at all because they're too tight in places. They're not the same size. All right, so think about that. We talked about that once before. Okay. We'll think about that some more. Yeah, because this is full page, full width, and then this has borders around it. So be careful about that. Okay. Left align this, and let's be very careful with font that is italicized. This, I'm not sure this is a great image for you. Left align this, and we need to continue with working on a grid. Okay, this, we need things aligned for sure. Even text has to be aligned. Okay, so continue to work with that. Let's choose a simpler font here and not italic. And let's start with your photography because you have more of that, or your videos. And then your graphics. I think I would just focus on photography right now for this page. This is, too complicated, especially to be above the scroll like that. So I would shorten this, just say projects or portfolio, and a different font, and left align it. But start with your photography and make sure that your spacing between your headers are the same between every item. But I would personally take this one off for you. Okay. And these are pictures of words, so they're not searchable, but I know they're important to you. I think you don't need this. I think it's making it jumpy. I think if you went here, straight to the yellow down here. Even if that's a cool image, put it in, your photos or something. We kind of go off on a different color here. And, we want to simplify our fonts, just two fonts. Okay. And if we don't have it linked up, disable these. When you submit, you might not need that when that's there. Okay, so we're going to just keep working on it. Keep working, all right? Okay. Works a little better in your mobile, but this space will have to go. I would just use this once. If you want to use it as a background, maybe, but the yellow is easy to read. Make sure you rename your images, everybody, so that they aren't coming up with numbers and things, all right? All right. I like this. Okay. Is that your image? Please let me know. Okay, good, good. This one needs to be optimized. It took a while to pop up, right? Okay, and beautiful, but let's make sure we have, I think, an even number so we can use your grid here. I think that would work better for you. Important. Okay, beautiful, all just nice and simple. Good. I don't see social media. Doesn't mean you have to, but if you do have an Instagram, that might be important. Okay, good job. And I can't see your mobile, but it looks like it would work well. All right, nice job. Okay, somehow I'm in your editor. Okay, which looks good. Let's see if I can preview this. Nice. Hard to read, right? Hard to read. Very hard to read there. So something has to happen there, and you got to be careful because everything's kind of working. Then we go to this white background. I'm not a huge fan of that. It's not quite working. Okay, I mean, if you want to do a slightly different purple or get lighter and lighter and lighter, lighter purple, you know, maybe to there. Not much lighter than that, but the white, it's not working with everything else. It is working. I like the logo. Okay, probably needs to be a little better. Of course, that's not your address or your phone number. So those have to come out, and take these out if you don't have social media, right? Update this. Okay. All right, so this is placeholder. That's a problem. Problem. Yeah, we need content, right? All right, Erica, unless that was someone's just your template. This isn't quite working with the background. You know, if it were a cloud background, it would totally work. You know, white, fluffy cloud, and the skies here were very blue today. That could have worked. But there's something missing here. And, you know, maybe it's that this needs to drop back in opacity. Maybe there's something here. Either this shape or... Yeah, I think I would try and find a really bright, beautiful sky. I know we're talking about cinematography, but it doesn't have to use this particular background. So now the first thing I want is your navigation, and I can't find it. Okay, so let's do something about that contrast. These need to be closed up a little bit. The characters have too much space between them. These look like photos, but it says video, so okay, there's the video. Okay, that was a little hard to find. Okay, let's optimize so those don't pop up so slowly. Now you need a simpler background, and given the kind of things you do, I think a nice sky background would be good. If you're going to do that, and a still for sure, and optimize it. Okay. Make sure that all your headers are the same. I'm not a fan of underlining this font. It makes it hard to read, generally speaking. Be careful with your phone number. But good. All right. So, yeah, that's the only thing. I know we've got to find that. And the home. All right. Okay. All right. So I know it's a rich color, but maybe you just, if you have to, then just use this down here, from here to here as a screenshot or something. But all of this other stuff is not really fitting with your style, this indoor hot theater with your outdoor images, and it's just overlapping. This is, because it's a warm color, it's coming forward a lot. It's competing a lot. All right. All right. But you're on the right track and you've got the work, and that's what counts. Okay. Again, the background's really busy. We can simplify that and bring your work in closer so it's not going to go off the edge, all right? And when you change that background, you're going to be able to do that. This is seen a lot, but it is working as far as overlapping. Okay, so that's good. Everything is squared here but these, so I would probably do something about that. And I'm rarely a fan of these because they have a lot of extra space and they kind of look, they look dated. And it's not just you, I always feel this way. And that doesn't mean I'm right. If you love it, fine. But I usually, want things aligned, and I feel like these are really spread out for three things that could probably go up here and look really nice against this background. And yeah, and you probably want black for these, I think. And they're kind of floating around. They're neither centered nor aligned. So let's grid those up, and this needs to line up with that. That's what I mean by align. Grid everything. All right? That's just, classic. But yeah, otherwise, you're onto it. You've got the basics that you need and examples. Let's clean it up, simplify it, okay? These are your examples. Let's put those in a grid, and this should be separate. I can't really read it. I know it says in the club, but let's make that smaller. It's really competing, okay? And see that? And I am viewing it actual size. All right, but, okay. Yeah. All right. Okay, a little hard to read this. I love that. That works really well against the blue. There's nothing competing with it at all, but I can't read that. And that's not covering much. That is starting to cover this, so that's a lot. See if you are able to simplify. Okay, good. Good, good, good. Okay, so these are not linked up. Be careful when this is overlapping here. It's got a very superhero look. We're jumping into different fonts, but not so bad. This looks good. These are good colors, really good. Yeah, so I think this needs to be part of the header and fixed or removed or something because it's, you know, overlapping things. So that's kind of a problem there. Its is probably better because on the web you remember that it's more of a informal communication or conversation. And let's be careful with the italics, and then we've got a few different fonts going on. This would probably need some sort of background across because it's cut off like this. Kind of a lot of white space. And bring that under it. Either bring it over. See, this sits well here, but this sort of feels that it's been stuck right in the middle there. But there is a lot of white space, so that's an issue. Want to work with that. We have a lot of pages. So, and this is nice. It's just this overlapping. Nice. We just need to simplify. This works. This is not quite working with this theme. And we do need to work with the colors that you have. Even if green screen's fun and great, we need to keep your style. Okay? Be sure to do that. Yeah, that looks good, right? Except here. So make sure that we have columns that are definitely aligned. Try and put that on one. You know, put cinematographer if you want, or just videographer, one or the other, or try and get it on one line. And make sure there's gutter space here, so your columns are a little too wide right now. I think this will look better with square buttons, but I'm not sure because that is rounded. This line, I'm not sure that's working. It's okay. But I'm just a little confused by everything. I can see that there's, you know, these different parts to the company, but it's just a little confusing. Maybe if they were condensed more, you know, like just a little thing about this company, a little thing about that company, and not, and this all simplified, super simplified, not more than this, not so much scrolling. See, that's confusing to me too. No placeholders. Just put projects, or let's not do this, as we're having to scroll. We want to get right into it. Okay. Yeah. You really have some really excellent options here, and it's just a matter of cleaning it up and organizing it, which means simplifying. And so definitely what you want to do is duplicate this, rename it, and make the revisions on the duplicate so that you feel free to go ahead and just cut things up and shorten things and move them around as needed, align everything. So just choose your best stuff. if it doesn't need to be there, then let's not have it there. Yeah, all right. Some things don't belong. All right, great start. Alexis, let's get rid of this. If we want, let's do your, have this be your logo if you want, a little larger. But I'm seeing this over and over again because of the template, and that's cool, but you don't want to have the same as everybody else. And this is aligned very nicely. The text, there's no conflict there. Everything is nice. All right, good. You do have a different kind of, but that's okay. Let's get straight into this. And I think a small, because it's not clickable, a little form, or make it clickable, and open a new window. And let's make sure that you have something that you shot. If you shot this, fine, but it is upside down. But, let's get into the content. When we tell someone we're on the About page or the Contact page, we need to take them there right away, all right? So otherwise, you've got the essentials, and that's what matters, but do continue to work on that, okay? And as you are a photographer, cinematographer, videographer, we want to see your work, okay? That's the important thing. So this is all good, but let's not have placeholder images that make us have to scroll. I think I've beat that, haven't I? Okay, good job. Placeholder image again. Let's get into your content. This doesn't quite fit this feel that you have. This is totally different, which doesn't mean it doesn't have a place on your site. It just means it doesn't have a place on the same page. Also, that would have to be capitalized. Left a line. Well, it's only 3 lines. It can be centered. This is a great shot. Don't know that you took it. Let's go ahead and only use what you have, Vanessa, and yeah, I'd remove that. I know I say have 3 works, but right now if it's 2, that's fine. But let's get into it. Let's take this out and get straight into your work. Or at least reduce the scrolling a little bit, okay? Left align this one. This doesn't appear to be linked, so disable it or link it. And there we go. So we've got, get rid of that. That's a placeholder. And just get rid of anything that isn't yours, all right? And do add your asset guide content, right, which supplies context. Make sure this aligns with this. You don't need your name here if you don't have it here, and you don't need it there. Just the title and your role. And like I said, I don't think that's right at this moment on this page. All right, good start. Matthew, same thing. Okay, let's just use your name. I like that we can see what you do, but let's get rid of that. Let's include your context and watch out for file names. I think you want to bring, I don't think this is the best thumbnail. It might be a good film, I don't know, but not the most intriguing thumbnail. These are good. Okay, even that. All right, that does overlap, but it's not too bad. It fades away. All right, so the about, good, and good. Okay. I'm not sure that fits your brand. Okay, so if you're not sure, take one of your images that you like and take it through a color generator and see what the palette comes up as. All right? Okay. Good job, everybody. Okay. All right, so I know it's a busy month. It's November, it's December. I have tried to take out the week 2. Well, I did take out the week 2 project for you. So, but do make sure that you spend several hours editing and making these changes. All right, everybody? You'll be glad you did. All right. Have a great weekend. And you're free to join the Monday at 5 or the Thursday at 1 o'clock sessions. All right? Good job.